So this is my speech about decriminalizing drugs. Here's the audience.
Quick one.
Alright. So drugs. They carry a negative connotation. They're either used for the pleasurable feeling associated with the high or as a way to escape from reality. The current zero tolerance policy is not working. Crime rate and drug use have continued to rise and will not stop unless an alternate policy is put into place. I strongly recommend following Portugal and decriminalising the use and possession of illegal drugs in America. As witnessed in Portugal, implementing this in America will lead to less crime, less drug-related deaths, less overdoses, a decrease in HIV cases, and a better economy. The current policy is only making it worse right now, so what does America have to lose? According to Drugs Inc., illicit drugs continue to be a $350 billion problem in the United States. Crack, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and ecstasy are the main drugs people know, but now prescription drugs are flooding the market, and not to mention the new drugs being developed every year. According to a national survey on drug use and health, 27.1 million people over the age of 12 in America have used illicit drugs in the last month. With America's population around 323 million, that is a large percentage of people breaking the law every month in the United States. The results of this widespread use are overflowing jails, drug-related crimes, overdoses, and $1 billion spent on law enforcement. For anyone that's seen Breaking Bad, Drugs Inc., or any other drug documentary, they would know about the drug market and just how willing people are to take each other's lives in order to keep their products safe. And with drugs more expensive than gold itself right now, I can see why. Although the zero tolerance policy seems foolproof on paper, there are gaps between the theory and the practice. It was 46 years ago when President Nixon proclaimed, America's public enemy number one is the United States' drug abuse, and set the policy into action. However, the alleged benefits of this policy have been dismissed. The problem is, no matter how many people law enforcement takes off the streets and put behind bars, there's always people replacing them faster than they can put them away. While figures are hard to come by, global spending on drug law enforcement certainly exceeds $100 billion each year. The figure is the international expenditure, so American expenses would be estimated to be $20 billion. A study published in the British Medical Journal in 2013 found that since 1990, prices of drug have decreased while the purity have increased. So these findings suggest that the efforts at controlling the legal drug market through law enforcement are horribly failing. So with the current policy doing no good, we have to try something else, and I strongly suggest we follow Portugal. They have set a new standard. The new policy was introduced in 2001 in an effort to decrease drug-related deaths and make Portugal's tourism scene more significant. Portugal decriminalised the use of possession of illegal drugs in America, and it's been 16 years since that, and the results have been amazing. The people opposed us thought that this would only increase drug use and intensify the problem. But HIV infections, drug-related deaths have decreased, while the dramatic rise in use feared by some has failed to materialise. Portugal now has the second lowest drug-related deaths in the European Union. Portugal should act as a template that America should implement. They have the problem which was solved by this, so how is America any different? It will make the economy better and America a safer place. It will also allow Americans to identify the real problems as to why they're turning to drugs in the first place, like homelessness and unemployment, for example. Politicians, White House representatives, and public need to be aware of this and make a strong push if they still feel about this. America was once labelled as the best country on earth, so let's get back to this and start speaking up. For President Trump, if you want your power to be remembered and go down in history, enforce this. Although people tend to think of America as the best country in the world, I beg to differ. The nationwide problem of illegal drug use acts as a forefront to all the hidden problems that have not been addressed yet. For the last decade, America has been losing the war, spending billions of dollars on law enforcement that has only made the problem worse. The emergence of the black market is the real danger because it is outside the law and is everyone for themselves competing for prize with no morals. If a new policy is not put in place, what is to say this issue is not going to get any better? America should learn from Portugal and treat illicit drugs as a public health concern rather than a criminal one. The stats and facts do not lie. And at this point, America does not have anything else to lose.
Yay! We're still here!
There you go. Cheers, guys.